lovely big 7 versus 7 on a random map, and it is all pros. Absolutely everybody here on this map is a pro, and I am just going to slow it down because I've got a few people to introduce and just want to go through them. So, first up, Team 1 is here across the top section, Team 2 across the bottom. Let's have an introduction of the guys. First up here for Team number 1, and coincidentally the highest rated player on the map is Hachamacha. I know he's somebody else, I can't remember who he is, doesn't matter, his name's Hachamacha, so that's who he is. And he is grey, he is Seraphim opening up first land. I imagine we'll probably see some pigeons lined up because there's no Hydra nearby. So with no Hydra, you'll often see pigeons. Yudi? It's Yudi. I thought it was Yudi, couldn't be sure, but anyway, I don't care, it's Hachamacha, his name's Hachamacha, so I'm going to call him Hachamacha. And I'm getting tired of saying the name Hachamacha because it's Hachamacha off the tongue. Right, behind him, in the yellow colour, it is Gorthar. And Gorthar is UEF, yellow as mentioned, he started an air factory there, moving into some pigeons and an land factory there, and air factory down there. In front of him, over this way, it is Resinoob. And Resinoob is there. Actually, I'm just going to do something really quickly. Somebody mentioned this in my YouTube channel that I should... Where is the... sensitivity, pan speed, slow that down. And just play that. Okay, just want to make this, yeah, that's a bit better. Now I can use the keys to move around a little bit. I may want to slow it down a bit more later, but that's fine. It's you change your name just for this game. Wait, what? No, you're not Gorthar. Anyway, it's Resinoob. Resinoob is down here, white UEF, opening first lane, and you see the pigeons are all lined up for more factories. Behind Resinoob, up here, it is Bomb Noob. Well, Boom Noob, sorry, that's not a bomb, that's a boom. It's a Boom Noob, and he's also UEF, and he is ranking up in the orange colour. Beside him, off to the right hand side, it is Mr. Turbo 3. Turbo 3 is Seraphim in the green colour, and again we see a land factory plus pigeons. So nobody's got hydras, well there is a hydra there, but everybody's sticking up with the pigeon build. Nice, nice, nice. Over here we have the 6th player for team number 1, it is Macro Noob. So many noobs. Anyway, Macro Noob is Cyan, Macro Noob is Cyan Cybran, and he's working on his way. He's got two hydros to play with. Lucky guy. And finally, for team number 1, over this direction, it is D3. I ain't saying that, it's just D3. Anyway, he's Cybran and he is in the vomit yellow colour, and he got his first land there, and pigeons ahoy, and that is how it goes. Okay, let's have an introduction of team number 2 then. First off, team number 2 up the front over here, it is Wish. Good old Wishy, and he is in bright pink, and he is a Seraphim. Behind Wish in the pale pink colour, it is Edja. Just going to be Ed. Ed is in pale pink, he's UEF, opening first land there, throwing down some pigeons, and near them over this direction it is Death Note, and is actually the first Aeon of the game. Death Note is in the bright vivid blue. He's got his first land, couple of pigeons, and down go the masterstrokes. Behind him, back in this direction in purple colour, it is Usuk Madik. Never know what it's actually supposed to be. It's going to be Usuk. Usuk is in purple. He's Cybran, getting the pigeons up in front of his land factory. Beside him, over in this direction in the standard brown colour, it is Donnie. Donnie is also Cybran, and he is our lowest rated player of the game. Lowest rated player of the game, yes, at 1600. And beside him is Willy Wankanoob. Trying to brain but might be failing. Yes, try to brain, don't bother, it's not worth the effort. And anyway, Willy Wankanoob is UEF in light blue. He has his factories up, working on a hydro down this way. He's going to be stalling power shortly, I'd imagine. And finally, for team number 2, over here on the far left hand side, it is FTX Commando, who is also UEF in light green. So he's getting some pigeons up, getting some mixes up, and good to go. So there's the players. We have an average of 1900 per team, nice and balanced, 93%. So great old game. Siko-chan is the wheelie. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I don't really know. I don't follow name changes. I really just say who they are in the game, because if they want to change a name, that's obviously who they want to be, what they want to be known as. And that's as far as I'm concerned, the end of it. So, how's the map? Nice and random. How's the reclaim? Nice and plentiful. 54,000 reclaim to be had. There are mass dump fields like this all over the place. 23,000 mass to be grabbed out of this. And right beside it, look, another 21,000 mass. So these little clumps of units, all wrecks all over the place. Look at these. Just been slapped down by the random map generator. 4,000 there, but it is symmetrical. So the map is halved and it's been mirrored, and there is stuff to grab everywhere. 54,000 reclaim to be had. Massive amount. So yeah, the middle control is going to be important. You're going to need to grab your mass fields and don't let your opponents get theirs. There's plateaus around, like you can get up onto these plateaus. The middle plateau is actually, you have to edge build or drop onto it to get there. And there's a couple of small plateaus around the edges here, so it looks like a bit of a fun map actually. E3 is Indrane. Cool. He's still E3 to me. I just simply don't like here. So we're seeing a thing here as well. All these guys are moving on board. Like nobody's really hanging back except for the air players in the far corners. I say air players. And everybody wants to try and get through. So yeah, I'm going to throw something up here. I want to slap up a prediction. And it is going to be pretty much Team 1 is at the top, Team 2 is at the bottom, and your prediction is who's going to win. I'm going to give you the guys a couple of minutes to figure this out. As I type it up, there you go. Lacy best people. There's going to be Team 1 across the top that's going to win. Team 2 down the bottom. You've got 2 minutes to throw those in and try and predict with those stealthy little channel points you will get for lurking around while I'm streaming. Alright, first scouts are out. They're coming in from Team 2. There's a drop coming over from Turbo 3. He's got this transport rocking on up. Maybe he wants to move in a forward position and try and steal as much of this reclaim as he can. No, not really. He's just dumping the engineers there, right beside this little reclaim group. I don't think that was a wise idea. He's got the transport. Might as well go further with it, right? Might as well get as much reclaim as possible. But we'll see how they go. Over on the left-hand side, and you can sort of see the pattern here. Everybody's just dribbling forward with the units and commanders on the edges. They're a bit close to the front. The middle's a wee bit further behind, but plenty to be done. And there we go. This is Gorthar, and he's looking to steal some of the reclaim with an engineer, and just like that, the engineer's paid for itself by being right there. Hey, why not? Good drop on there. Don't know if it's going to... Oh, there we go, a couple of engies down here from Death Note. If he's paying attention, he might see the drop coming from Gorthar and start stealing that reclaim. But speaking of stealing reclaim, there we go. Death Note's trying to steal that stuff as well. And we'll see how these guys are going to get on with that kind of thing. They haven't started reclaiming yet. They need to grab something. And if they wait too long, there's a commander stomping their way, and it's going to have a good fun. Over this direction, first little fracas going on here. Some Mantis defending this mass field for team number 1. Want to keep a hold of that. Are they reclaiming it? Yes, they are. So now they pay for themselves. Good on them. Bit of a reclaim war? No? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. Reclaim war has been won by Death Note, and then manual reclaim from Nam. We need to grab all these wrecks and get the extra damage on there. So, just as an idea of how well do your engineers have to do to be profitable, they cost 52 mass to produce, and of course there's the time factor as well. So generally, if they can reclaim more than 50 mass, you're usually pretty good. And Tier 1 bomber comes over to kill off a Tier 1 engineer while there are 6 engies right beside us, so maybe a wee bit of overkill there, buddy, but it is going to be able to hold them off. I hear some commander fighting. There's some com action on the left hand. Hachimacha is standing here in the mass field, just kind of ignoring it all. He's not too concerned, but he needs to be a little concerned because there is a second commander coming up here from Willy Wankadoo, and if those two comms get onto Hachimacha, he's going to have a bad time and doesn't quite want to be caught out like that. Having said that, there is some supporting units coming down from Rizzy. Only a few though, not a huge amount. And now Hachimacha thinks time to go. think he knows the other commander is coming and just decides, or he suspects it, and a factory block from Commando trying to get Hachimachi to stop moving. And it looks like he's now focusing on the Yunus, a wise idea. Yunus actually can do a bit of DPS. We pause for a moment, we ignore that, and Willy Wanker has decided not to help out his teammate. Commando, he's left his comm down here to grab this reclaim. Right on the left hand side, units are pushing up from Commando, so that's where they're going, and they are starting to have an effect in the front eco of Hachimachi, who doesn't want to lose much of that. He's got units coming on over, but now Commando needs to fall back. Like no if buts or maybe, he has got to go. He's going to get surrounded in a moment, and when you start getting loads of T2 units around you, loads of T1 units around you, it is a bad situation, and he's actually looking pretty down. He's down to 2/3 health, still trying to dodge around and get out of here, but wait, Wish? I've been focusing on these guys. Wish has been defeated by Macro Noob. His comm was all the way up the front. He got double teamed over here by Macro and E3, so Wish is out of the game that side. Over this side, it is FTX Commando not looking too good, and he's actually going to go down. Yes, he is. He overextended himself a wee bit too much. He's gone down. Hachimachi's and got 6,000 health left, but Commando is gone over. Hello, what's this? This is a T2 transport, and it is very full of labs. And this is going to be a problem. There's a lot of labs and a lot of damage coming off of that. And Hachimachi is going to need to some twisty-turny, some interceptors coming out, and they're going to try and take the transport down, but Hachimachi's health is disappearing. Get ghettoed, says old Deason. Yes, indeedy. Hachimachi is getting ghettoed, and just in case, Willy Wanker was moving up with his comm to get some extra shots in, just in case it was required, but it is not. Now, these guys have set to full share, so the eco has gone to other players, so it's not a complete and utter loss. Let's check out the right hand side. This is E3 and Macronoob are in the area. They're okay though, 2 comms with an army behind, they should be alright. And a bit of an army fracas going on the right hand side between E3 and Mr. Death Note. So that is 2 comms dead for team number 2. Commando and Wish out of the game, but they have traded for Hachimachi. The Ghetto gunship carries on. Was that another one? Was that another one? That's on full health. The one that was there before wasn't on full health. This is now 2 Ghetto gunships. And this is Resinoob. Resinoob is in trouble. They need to get some interceptors up there pronto and just focus down, but that is friendly air. That is inties from Edger and Donny, and they are protecting these Ghetto gunships, and Resinoob is in big trouble. Got some T1 AA up, but it's going to take a long time for them to chew through the health on the Starlifters, as well as maybe hitting the... Oh dear. Oh dear, that is Resinoob also out to Ghetto gunships. Boom he goes. Takes out both of the Ghetto gunships, but nonetheless, that is 2 Ghetto gunship kills now on the right hand side. Let's check it out. This is a gun upgrade going down for Death Note. Maybe wants to double think. Oh, another Ghetto. Where the hell are these coming from? It is Ghetto gunship day. T2 transports all day from here, labs all day from there, and it is another Ghetto gunship. How can they not be expecting this? And a squad of interceptors do come in. Macro Noob, they need to swing around and take the transport out. There we go. No more Ghetto gunship for you, good sir. Interceptors are over here. They need to start thinking about mixing in some anti-air into the ground forces. I think Macro Noob is to get out of here. There is Death Note is looking to get a second gun upgrade, but he is standing still for now. That's going to be finished very shortly though, and he will be fine from here on out. So he can now move around, and another Ghetto gunship. Now, the one downside to Ghetto gunships is you cannot choose your target. You just sort of have to fly around and let them shoot what they're going to shoot. They just attack randomly, but if you loiter them over a commander, they will eventually start shooting at him. But there are some interceptors. Actually, there's a bunch of ground anti-air. This transport's not going to survive. Yeah, the T1 AA is going to do the job, but still there's a lot of damage down on Macronoob. He's down into the red. And if another Ghetto gunship turns up, which it does, Macronoob has got some issues. He needs a lot more. I'll tell you, flak. Flak would be great. Flak would be absolutely fantastic. Flak would keep him alive, only if his commander was near it. But he's not. And that is macro noob down to yet another Ghetto gunship. Have a quick look around the rest of the map, and okay, not much going on, although William Wanker needs to be cautious with this lot steaming into this commander. Down this direction, it is E3 now under threat, but we have a flak up, and that is going to help. Look at what it does to the... yep. Flak absolutely decimates the Ghetto gunship. All of those, the poor little boys on board, they just die horribly, but E3 doesn't need to worry about Ghetto gunships right now. He needs to worry about the ground forces in his face, and I don't think he's going to get out of that. Especially since Death Note is also now pushing up, so he's not going to technically die to Ghetto gunship, but he is going to die. I don't see him getting away from these forces, especially with the commander from Death Note pushing on up, and this is going to be a problem for E3. Down under 2,000, 1,500, 1,000, no more ghettos needed. See you later, E3. And just what has this done to the game? Well, there were a couple of early comm kills for Team Num 2. They lost Wish and Commando, but 4 now dead for Team Number 1. Good evening, Husky. How we doing? How we doing? Right, I missed the prediction results, but that's alright. Okay, more Ghetto gunships, but they're not going to last long with ASFs in there. So Gothar has decided, well, he's kept up with that kind of rush, and he's basically got the ASS, which now should be very, very handy at killing off these. And indeed, just a few passes, and it's going to be into those Ghetto gunships. Not too bad, my friend. Nice to see. Willie Baker needs to be a wee bit cautious. Has a large number of units passing by. He does have a bunch of units for zone, and has he stopped the Ghetto gunship? He has. So he stopped that production. There has a whole swarm of labs. They can be just run around anywhere to cause issues, which they probably should be. But definitely the so Gothar just went for T3 air, and now he has that control. Have a check on the air for, okay, nope. Ed also has T3 over there, so that is all well and good. Okay, but T3 lands. Titans pushing on down the middle, and that'd be a great target for things like a Ghetto gunship to go and have a go at. That'd be well worth slowing those on down. Donnie's here with his comp. He doesn't have any kind of upgrades, but if he had overcharge, he wouldn't be too worried about a few Titans. Well, he has the storage, but he does not have the power. Why does he not have the power? Nobody knows. Ah, because he's building the storage. That's why. So now he's got the storage. Now we can do overcharge. And T2 air coming out. Janus are going to drop their payload on these guys. Going to throw down that napalmy goodness. Going to burn some trees while they're at it, and watch this guy just run straight through the fire. Seems like a silly idea, but that's what he's doing. Titan don't care. Titan don't give a shit. And they're coming down to kill off some eco. Those were 3 very close to being upgraded tier 1 mixes. That is probably around 2,500 mass wasted, or maybe 2,200 sort of thing. But still, they were so close to finishing an upgrade, but no dice, it was all gone, and the lab swarm is on the way. ASFs can still end up targeting the... Really? They can shoot the mech marines off the bottom of those things? Amazing. Anyway, this lot has just carried on their push. They've moved right on up. They are targeting out some factories as they can. Why not? Kill the factories, kill the grid production, having a good old time. Over this way, there's been a raid up here too. I think that looks like a strat bomb perhaps, or was it a tech missile? No one, but it is there. Air wing is well in place for Gothar. But while his air's in place, his ground ain't doing so good. Thankfully, he has support from his teammate Boom Noob here, who has the Titans in place, and they can start carving up these T1 units as long as they don't get too close. Especially any labs. Labs will just like die to Titans horribly. Why metal Pokemon weak to fire? Nobody cares. They just are. It's like, how does paper beat rock? It's just because they are. Okay, That is a push that's going to fail thanks to the Titans in the way. T3 is doing a good job against that spam. Going to have a good old time. And hello, over on the right hand side, this is Death Note. He has one shield. I don't think he's got the double shield. I think it's just one.
Commander under attack.
Check all of his upgrades. And the answer is no, just a single shield, and it's not going to last long with siege tanks coming in. So Turbo has made this transition to T3. And Death Note wants to think about overcharging those to go, but there are 2 more siege tanks coming in. He's going to want to get out of there because that is a lot of ground forces, and his commander's shield is gone and his health is going to start evaporating. He needs to bring the support as soon as possible, but that's not going to be enough, and Death Note is doomed. Wow. It was not the greatest move. Jet fuel can't melt. Go away. Jet fuel can't melt steel Pokemon. Come on. Alright. Up this direction, you can see the T3 and T2 up here has just obliterated this push. All these little poor little Mega Marines getting turned into scrap just like straight away. Nothing to go for there. Okay, but a lot of stuff has been passed over to Usu. In the meantime, back here it is Ed trying to stay in the air game. He's only doing it on a few mixes of his own, but he has been upgrading them towards T3 to try and get that extra mass income that he needs to stay competitive. Compare that to his opponent, who, well, he does have to look after land as well, but he's more focused on the air game. Alrighty. Okay, fair enough. There's a single Titan here going, look at me on my Titan, is being overcharged by Donnie. Do you ever get a sense of impending doom? Look in the right direction. Camera no. Camera no. Oh, that's annoying. I don't like that camera sometimes. It just does weird things. Give me your mass vet. And it worked. Look at that. One overcharge. Boom. Oh, okay, it's killed 14 units, but still it did give the mass for the veterancy. And up this direction, it is Stingers, and there's a Ghetto gunship again. But Flak is going to turn. Boof. Yeah, Flak just decimates Ghetto gunships because it kills off all the little wee labs first with like a lobby or 2, and makes them virtually ineffective. Still, I think Willie Wanker needs to get into the T3 game instead of keeping the spam up, and he does have T3, and that is Percival's. Another T3 factory here, more Percival's coming up, grabbing up the T3 reactor, so, and his control K, the rest of his T1 factories, because why do I need those when I can just focus on T3? Turn him into mass, get his mass extractors up, and have a grand old time. Okay. This has been a hectic 15-minute start to the game. We have lost over half of the players, I think. No, exactly half the players in the first 15 minutes. Thanks to a bunch of Ghetto gunship bullshit. Just, I mean, it was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They lost 3 players to Ghetto gunships. And the last one, kind of to Ghetto gunships, but yeah. Death Note managed to finish off that kill. Okay, Stingers. Yes, Stingers can carry a unit. For those who were unaware, the UEF Stinger T2 gunship can actually pick up a single unit. Can actually pick up T2? I thought they could only carry T1. Maybe misunderstanding that, but I thought they could only transport T1 units. If they could pick up Mongoose, and Mongoose could shoot, that would be just devastating. The other thing that might cause an issue, Flak. No, Flak can't shoot from them though, can it? I thought only bots could shoot, like the Mech Marines and things. But this is a T1 push into T3 wall of absolute fire, and that's just a destruction. Might have lost a Titan or 2 perhaps, or just heavily damaged one. Oof. Drop him outside the engagement area. That makes a bit more sense. Okay, down here though, push coming through this gap. There's not much to stop these. There's a Soul Point Defense which is having a hard time against the Rhino. The walls, they do not seeing. Look at that. Just finding the right angle to shoot through. And then T1, poor T1 PD had no chance. Okay. Single Rhino, it is heavily damaged, but it's going to run into a bunch of T1. This should be enough to finish it off. Yeah, that's true. On the inties, so Flak, yep, bring some flak, cause some damage. Makes sense. Alright, these guys are all dead. No need to worry about on that front. Okay, there is a T3 push coming through. These Titans have just been slowly moving up in this direction, leaning up with the T1 units and leaving behind a mess field that is nice for somebody to pick up. 10,000 reclaim in this screen alone. That is well worth fighting over to try and control, which is exactly what is trying to be done here from Willy Wanker. But he has T3 Titan issues. 22 Titans on his doorstep, and he doesn't have T3 on the front. He has a bunch of stingers. What was that ping for? I don't know. Don't see anything of note. Scouts? Yeah, not too worried about scouts. That is okay. It's a good trace. That is a good trade. 5 or so T2 gunships. Flak will take out, well, if they all had flak, then yes, that would work. Alright, over this direction, and Stinger's doing stingery things, but there is some flak. Oh no, it's a Cougar back here. Every time it opens up, it finishes off Stinger. And that is going to be about time. ASFs are posturing from Gorthar, but they're going to decide not to engage with the combined forces of Mr. Ed and Donnie. That would definitely lose that war. Stingers move up once again, but they're not focusing on the right unit. They should kill off the Cougar every time. Oh, bit of AoE damage there, and it gets 3 Stingers at once. But the Stingers doing their job. They're forcing the Titans back, and I think that's really what they're for, just to push those back while the Percivals lumber their way from these back factories to slowly get up front. Once the Percies are in position, the Titans will no longer serve a purpose, except as cannon fodder. Up in this direction, there's a lot of T3 going on. We have Othams pushing up on up. We have bunches of T1 PD trying to do their job. We have Loyalists trying to stop Othams. No, that's not a good idea. You need bricks to stop Othams, which he does have, so that's going to be okay. Can he hold out though? There's also forces pushed down this way. More Loyalists over here from Mr. Turbo, who's okay. He's got shared tech because of his full share on death. But these T1 PD, they're not surviving much longer. They are getting absolutely hammered by everything, and they're dying like it's going out of fashion. T3 units are coming over for support, and these guys are going to get through. There's nothing to stop them. On the ground there's nothing really. These Loyalists are going to get through. They're going to do a heap of damage. They're going to have a very, very good time at doing that. There's some factories down here. It's got some T1, got some T2. I'm trying to hurriedly throw down some T1 PD, but it's not going to do a heck of a lot because these Loyalists will just slide on past and not even care. We're going to want to get some air out. In fact, a broadsword comes out, and that would be ideal. Broadsword can do some decent damage, and these Loyalists won't last long should extra broadswords join this particular battle. There is Omni there, so there's no hiding from that with any unstealthy units if you're far away. And this is what a broadsword does to ground units. Decides to turn them into scrap. Nothing the Loyalists can do about that. Another broadsword coming up. Definitely going to help kill these off. T1 PD starting to have a go, and why not? Gonna make life bigger. So the Loyalists going to get in here. They're going to kill off all this eco, going to kill off all this build power. T3 mass extractors going down. You never want that to happen, but there's not much that can be done if you don't have the defenses to slow them. Okay. In the middle, there's this lot of still fighting. It is a bunch of Loyalists versus some Othams. There are some bricks in the mix as well, throwing their damage over. And in the middle, another push. So this is actually Turbo pushing in 3 locations, 1, 2, 3, all on this side, and he's made breaks in 2 of them. These guys have gotten through, killed off and stuff. These guys have gotten through, and they are actually going to kill the Omni radar. That's not going to be very helpful for intelligence, and that is a bad thing to lose. And I know somebody just put an experiment somewhere. Check that out. But there's the radar. There's how much they can see, and as soon as that goes down, we'll go down. Boomski. Oh, they've still got radar somewhere. So there's another. Must be another. There it is. There's the other Omni. So they still have some vision, which is quite critical to responding. Things going on for some reason. Can I tell him to upgrade it? Well, he's upgrading it. Getting the engineer putting the storage. He's doing alright. But that monkey, there it is walking its way to the front. And when it's joined over here by everything else, it's going to have a great time. Percivals are basically shrugging off this T2 PD. They really don't care. They just move on up and shoot and kill. What stops Percy's? Other Percy's. Percy fight. Although I haven't said that, T3 battles are quite good. Percy's versus Bricks versus Othams. There's usually quite a decent battle between those forces. But yeah, that's alright. Broadswords are absolutely getting to work up here, and they have been assisting hugely with this ground push from Turbo, and his ground forces have been decimated over here by these broadswords. There's certainly plenty more. Some flankers out that they need to be a little bit careful of, and where's the air wing? We're still loitering over here from Gothar. I just want to keep his air control for the moment. He knows if he tries to engage, these things are going to jump on his back right away. And he's going to have a bad time. In fact, there goes the move order perhaps. Nope, just posturing a little bit, getting to a slightly different position. Monkey has been pinged, so I think it's been spotted by team 1. Laser? Oh, that is laser. Usu is going somewhere with his laser comm. Question is, who is he going for? Has he spotted a comm to kill? I don't see a thingy over here. I don't see a thingy over there. Is he going up here? I don't see left. Try and keep an eye on that. Watch for the purple guy moving. We do this actually. He's going straight up the middle. And right here. Oh dear. Turbo is walking closer to it. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This... Was he going for the water? I think he was trying to go for the water. But now, Usu has turned up and... He's not focusing on Turbo? Okay. He doesn't want Turbo to get out of range. It's got to be close to the edge of his range. Yeah, there we go. Right on the edge of the range. If he can just get a little bit closer, he can focus him. Look, right on the edge of running. Oh no, he has been caught. He has been caught, and that, the end of Turbo, right on the edge of range. He almost got away. And now Usu looks to get out. The question is, he should be able to. It's just tier 1 there coming over, but that's a broadsword. That's going to be a bit extra damage. There's also a purse for rocking over. I don't think Percy's going to make it in time. It's going to be basically broadsword versus teleport. And T1 air, actually he's losing a lot of health. Losing quite a bit though. Nah, he's going to get out. That will be fine. Oh, if these guys had turned up a lot earlier, he wouldn't have been fine, but he is going to get away before they arrive, thankfully. They would have absolutely decimated them, but Usu gets away after sniping out Turbo 3. Oh dear. Oh dear. It is now 2 versus 4. But full share is on, so the eco is slightly more important at this stage, which is actually in the hands of Team 1. So the question is, can they micro better? That monkey before, it is up this way, and it has got 42 kills to its name. And as long as it remains with the support of these forces, it will be able to do some good things and maybe take out a lot of this eco that really needs to be slowed down. But here we go. Monkey is in play, and it is having a grand old go. But if it gets alphaed by all these Percivals, that monkey's going to die. A lot of them. Look at the health. Just as Percivals open up on the thing, the health just disappears, and goodbye monkey. Oof, don't underestimate Percivals. Yeah, 42 kills. It would have been like T1, T2 units. Pretty much what happens. You know, cleans out all of those, doesn't really get a rank of veterancy, and not so good for its usefulness. Okay. Oh, that's a Rambo com. Arguably the weakest Rambo com, I think, from what people say. It does have the... yeah, that's right. The strongest Rambo com is... most will be Seraphim, just because of the fact they have overcharge. Oh, what's going on over here? Gunships are out. And they have taken down the T3 HQ. Ooh, Scathus. No, you don't want to let the Scathus go up, oh my word. That Scathus is going to be a bad thing to get up. There's a... well, Boom Noob has the eco, he has the build power, and that Scathus could get built very quickly. Nuke out. Didn't even see that one. There it is. Nuke has gone out from Mr. Donny. And where's it going? The answer is this way and slightly to the left. Is he going for this up here? Is there any SMD? There is SMD. It's not loaded. It's very close to being loaded. Gorthar trying to load an SMD before the missile reaches. This is going to be close. Maybe not. There's that missile. There it is. It's coming overhead, and no, too many pixels left to fill for that. The missile has landed. And the SMD finishes building a missile. Yes, it does. Just in time for control to be handed over, so the missile will the anti-nuke will complete. But that is Gorthar out of the game, and it is now down to just Bomb Noob. He has the eco. Maybe not quite as much now. That is looking a lot closer than what it was before. And here's the air fight that they have been looking for. There are some mortals back here. Probably don't help that much. There's some flak down below. Nope. There's some T1 AA, and that is a... I think that's going to be an air win for Boom, because the ASFs have focused down the broadswords in the area whilst his ASFs are just loitering nearby. I don't know why they're not moving. There they go, now they're moving, but they are retreating instead of engaging. A curious decision. They have basically let that done. Usu finishes up an experimental, and there's more ASFs coming in here. I think Ed wants to send those in because Boom's attention is obviously elsewhere. He's even getting the reclaim from that monkey. Wowza. Okay, so the big question. They know there's an S&D there. They had broadswords there a moment ago. Well, I say a moment ago, a while ago. Did they not see the Scathus? They did not. They have no idea there's a Scathus being built there, even though there were broadswords here just not long ago, killing off that while that was getting built. So they've seen the SMD, but they haven't seen the Scathus. That could be a key thing there that might be very useful. Alright, no, don't land your broadswords with Percival's around. Oh, that's a lot of damage. There's a lot of flag too. Crunchy. And that was a Rambo com who was up the front. It has died a horrible death. That is not looking good on there. Very difficult to react across the entire front. The entire map is what Boom Noob has to try and deal with. It is rather difficult, although not doing so badly here. This is a sizable army that is moving on up through, wanting to break the front line, and is probably going... Oh, never mind, it's a GC. I was going to say a big... A lot of loyalists, a few bricks around, and if that GC stops walking, would be a good idea, but it is going to be the turning factor in this particular battle, plus focusing down the siege tanks and the loyalists, and just have a look at that. Combine that with the supporting forces, and this army is getting absolutely routed. Now decides we don't want no part of this, we're running away, but it's a wee bit late. The GC is already zapping your face and hoovering up those giant magnet tractor arms. You saw those units just before getting sloped up, popped there and dying instantly. Wow. A lot of damage. We have a fat boy over this side, and this can start raining down some good damage on the left, which is also being pushed. A bunch of Percivals. They are ready to go and cause havoc if they are aware there's a fat boy coming. Well, they should be. It's been scouted, and if Willie is paying attention, he could slide these guys over to the right, although having said that, the fat boy is now turning away. Percival's very slow. They're not going to catch the fat boy, but they can just keep moving up and destroying that eco in that particular section. How's the Scathus? Well, Scathus is done. Scathus is absolutely done, and the first rounds are flying on in. Boom Noob is hiding in the water. Yes, he is. He's not going to be able to be tele-sniped. I do wonder if it is worth doing a tele-torpedo com. Probably not. I don't think it has enough DPS to really be effective. But this is a problem. The nuke is here. The nuke is loaded, ready to go, and Willy Wanker is here with his com. Ooh dear, Siren shielding just does not stand up to a Scathus. It's going to be a small problem. They need to find a target for that quickly. And I mean quickly, they need to launch it somewhere because that Scathus is just going to keep raining down destruction until that base is gone. Is that... There we go, there's Donnie up here with this comp. He's safe enough for the moment. I'm hearing strats. Strats on the monkey. The monkey's running away as the strats just wander overhead and absolutely decimate them. But the strats are continuing on. So Scathus on there, strats going up this way. What is going to be their target? A lot of... Ooh, that is a teleport coming in from Willy Wonka. Question is, can he kill the SMD? No, he can't. Damaged it a little bit, but Usu is dead thanks to a grab rushing around. We have a bunch of bricks here as well, and these strats are going for... They're not going for the SMD. Are they going for the Scathus? It is damaged. But honestly, they should go for the SMD. I think that's the only one in the area. Where are the strats? Well, the strats are dead thanks to all the ASFs coming from Boom Noob. They have been taken down. There are some SAMs down there as well. Bit of a pause there, that's fine. But the Scathus survives. More importantly, the SMD survives. That could have gone. If they had focused on the SMD, those strats would have got through. There was only that shield protecting it, which had disappeared. I don't know why the strats went for the wrong thing, but this is what Scathus Fire does to your base. And Willy Wonka is just sort of loitering around with his comm. Oh dear. It was under shields and it's staying. Shields actually do protect from comm explosions as well. So yeah, there's so many layered shielding going on here that nothing happens. Right. Crab. Facing the wrong way perhaps? No, it has turned around, and this is a fight the Crab will win. Crabs will beat GC. And GC has a rank of Predator, which does help his regen, and does have some supporting units coming on in if they can get in and throw some shielding up in front of that. GC needs to keep moving because the Crab is going to back out of range, and the shields are just a little bit too low. They catch some shots, but not all of them. And that's not looking good for the GC. It needs to keep moving forward. They need to keep moving forward. But there's plenty of bricks now in support, and it's not going to be great for that side of thing. Scathus is now firing its payload down this way, and that is the air grid. Ed's air grid has been terminated. There's another nuke here, not loaded though. But it's all just here at the moment. The Crab and the bricks are going to get the job done. Crab is falling back. The bricks are taking extra damage onto the GC. And, wow. More bricks coming in from Willy Wonka as well. Massive push. They need to get into here. And once again, the strats go for the Scathus when they should be going for the SMD. I think that is a massive mistake. Although having said that, there's a lot of units. The GC survives and is pushing on through, but there's been another Crab built just in the nick of time from Boom Noob, and that is going to finish off any hope of this slot getting through. Although if they rush, the bricks may be able to push on up, rush through, kill the S&D you had. Oh wait, they had a nuke launcher. The nuke is gone, so is there another one? No, but there's a Mabel. Okay. The air grid has gone down here. There's no nuke left over there. The nuke launcher has gone from Donnie's base. It's got a secondary base here. It's got a bit of an air grid all set up there, which is all well and fine. And this lot have gotten in there, and they have killed the SMD, but now they're trying to push through. If they can take out this power generator, focus it down, perhaps they can kill it off. Explosion should kill a few things, and maybe pull off the shield gens. They're not going to get the Scathus. Unfortunately, it is going to survive, and there's plenty of build power in the region to support those shields. Down this direction, a monkey is having a whale of a time just killing off a bunch of loyalists. No dice for those things pushing through, but there's a GC over this way. It's going to get through. Although the Crab is in the region as well, that should cause some extra damage. And the monkey is starting to chase down the GC, so I don't think it's going to quite make it through. Mavor up. Mavor up. Another Mavor. There's another GC over this way. No, it's a monkey. The monkey's been sneaking around, doing extra damage over this way. It's all about this particular spot on the map though. What can get through? Oh, the GC is making a run for it. It's not going to quite make it, I don't think. The crab is pounding down the damage. The monkey's faster. It's going to be lasering it in the back in any moment now. The question is, can the GC kill stuff off? He needs to keep walking because that monkey will do extra DPS that doesn't need to survive. One's into T1 PD as well though. Killing off shield generators is also not a bad idea. If it does that, reclaim order from the hives. GC goes down, and have a look at the lack of shielding now. There's only a few left. And the Mabel rounds, where are the Mabel rounds? Here they are. They're on the way. The rounds are coming for impact. The strat bombers are coming also in. And have they been targeted in the right spot? Are they going to drop onto the shield? Oh, the shield comes back online just in time. No, they were going for the crab. All the shields are down from the first Mabel shot. The second shell comes on in, and oh, the Scathus has moved. The Scathus moved. That's fine. This monkey's going to get nothing done, unfortunately. It's facing up against a crab and a monkey. Shields drop down again. Where is the next Mabel round landing? It's going to land in time is a question. Who's next Mabel round? They seem to stop. Lost targeting perhaps? But it's given a chance for the shields to actually come back on. And just have a look at everything that's coming in, everything. Making a beeline for that there. Some strap bombs coming to do some extra damage, but they don't take the shields down. The Mabel shell does. Slightly ill timing, unfortunately. Had the Mabel shell landed first and taken the shields out, those strap bombs would have done a lot more damage. Maybe they could have actually taken the Scathus down. No, they needed more stress than that. It does seem to me that these Mabel shells are firing really slowly. Wow. Hell, I missed that. Look at all of these satellites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 satellites trying to take this down. The Mabel is still firing away. I see. The Mabel has changed targets. Those shells are now going up this way. Somewhere. I wonder if they could actually damage them. I do wonder. But the Mabel shells are actually coming up this way. They have spotted these ultra annoying satellites, and this is where the shells are going for, one would imagine. So ignoring the Scathus for now, there are some bricks firing up that way, but again they're running into a crab and a monkey and plenty of support on there, so I don't think they're going to get through to the Scathus. The extra damage has to come this way. Is that where the attack order has gone to? Kinda looks like. Okay. Novaks are still having to go over here. The shields have not dropped amazingly. They have lost some, most likely to just Scathus fire, but more shields are going up with plenty of build power on support. Trying to keep those shields alive, desperately need them to stay that way. That Mabel needs to stay alive, and these Novaks up this direction need to die. Hey look, it's a Mabel. Boom. No, it's not. Mabel on the way, but Mabel has died a horrible, horrible death. Okay. Shells are landing. Shields are being supported. But if those shields collapse, boom! That's a bunch of support commanders. See anyone lose? I see shadows. Strat bombers to the assistance. Kill off a couple of satellites. Drops the number overhead to 4. Shields are still holding. Mabel is still up. And the strats come back, and that's what you want to happen. The extra damage from the Mabel and the strats at the same time, they're going to take some things out. The shields are down, the shells are landing, and kaboom! 2 more satellites down. Another shell lands over this direction would be absolutely ideal. Crunch. Another strat comes in. Hey look, 3 shields. 3 shields. 3 shields again. But more strats showing up, and that is going to absolutely help the Mabel rounds get through. The strat bombs come over, and I think that will be it for the Novaks. And the shields are still holding down here for the Mabel, but this is a giant push coming on in, and there's not much to stop it. Going to need to get these strats over this way to slow that fat boy down, because that is going to be critical to doing it. We're going to see the final Novaks go boom. Walkminder will boom. Shield is gone. Now there's just the 1 Novaks left. It will die eventually, and then they're going to focus back onto the Scathus. But right now, this ground army is a massive concern, and these strats are in the wrong place. These strats are definitely in the wrong place because this ground army is pushed on through nothing to slow it down on the ground, and the problem is that once they get in range, in particular Fat Boy, these shields are going to struggle to do anything against all of it. Scath is still firing down. Mabel is still firing in the wrong direction. There's no more Novax. You need to redirect yourself back over this direction to kill off that Scathus. And these strats are doing what? Okay, I think they're making another run at the Scathus, but I think it's ill-advised. Over this direction though, here's the problem. It is all the units dropping on in. It is the Fat Boy coming on through. It is the T3 army. Percival's galore. Don't underestimate Percival's. This is like the equivalent of an experimental more than. These could take down basically any experimental. They have that many. Banks of Ravagers have gone up to try and slow the storm, but there's just too much. And combine those with the Scathus fire, this little base here, I say little, this big base here, is not going to last too much longer. Shields have gone down. The Mabel is exposed. And with the extra damage, it ain't happening. There's a strat run up in this corner though, and the question is, can they get through all the shields? And the answer is very much a no. Lots of stress coming through. The Mabel is still... No, the Mabel is firing some rounds off, but it is not long for this world. Percival's on the doorstep. Broadsword overhead. Bat Boy trundling on, and these shells are the last the Mabel is going to fire. Maybe picking deck to the Scathus, but without the coordination of those strat bombers, they went a little bit early. They needed to accompany the Mabel fire. T1 bombers, no. That's just rude. Percival's going to get the job done. The Mabel does go down. The Scathus, well, the Scathus survives. Maybe. The Scathus maybe it's going to survive. Those shells are just not quite accurate enough. The last two shells lobbing on down, and that's it. Does survive. Under shields once again. And more shells from the Mabel. And this base is absolutely wrecked. There's nothing left on the ground to slow things down. Monkey did come out and caught up to the Fat Boy and killed it. But I do wonder if taking the strats onto the Scathus was the right idea. I think bringing them down here would have been the better choice. I think the first strat run needed to kill the SMD so the nuke could launch. But in the end, this is now a dreadful situation. Eco has been terrorized across the map. Look at all the empty mass extractors that nobody has bothered to rebuild. They've just been busy with everything else. And over this way, it is Percival's versus a massive bank of point defense. Look at the health just go off of those. You don't often see that from Cerberus turrets, but they're doing jobs. And the broadswords overhead. But is that a broadsword about to get bombed? No. But Donny gives up. Donny has had enough, and he does not see a way back from this. And I guess with the Scathus still online, he's not too far wrong, one would think. But my word. You know what, halfway through the game, did you call this? Did you think this would be the result? Scathus fire just raining down upon basically anything. When you want to say a fuck you to a general area of the map, and there we go. That is a Control K for everything. So Willy Wanker not only just Control K his combo, all the stuff, and then Ed follows suit. That was a hell of a game.